Lookabout today is finding patterns and finding connections and finding items of interest that I can then turn into pieces for the map or representations of the geology of the map, as well as mapping the day in the traditional format that I've used. It's kind of special because I'm spending a couple of days here to deliberately search for things to add to make that map more rich, to make the analogy of the geology more rich. And I know I can find them here. What makes me look about? It's that interminable quest for knowing things, for finding things out, for looking and finding the hidden within things. I have to find input, I have to learn, I have to find things that are hidden. But often or not, it's about finding those things that are hidden in the ordinary. It's not about finding things that are special. If you know something's there, why go and bother to look for it? It's about finding the things that you don't know. It's about looking for patterns that you can then represent as something different, to change them, to finding correlations and connections between ordinary things. All my life I've liked looking for things. I've liked trying to find the hidden. It's partly to do with the way I've treated myself and the way others have treated me, so I've liked to keep a lot of things hidden too. And it's also to do with my Asperger's, where you just want to find out stuff, how it works, what puts it together, why is it there, why are we here? You know, it's all about questions. People are always looking for something special, so let's look for the extraordinary and the ordinary and see what we can find there. The Medway area, especially Gillingham's, really important to me, because not only because I was born here, but because of family connections and memories. And Lookabout is a very intimate portrait of 2 years of my life. So I decided to bring a lot of my past back into it. And I was captivated by the boat last year when we came and did figure ground work, and I did a piece of work with Mum talking about being on Gillingham Pier. And since then she's passed away, which is part of the timeline of Lookabout, and I really wanted to bring it back here. And I didn't want it to be in a gallery based for the whole of the tour. It had to be somewhere special. This is the only place where I've stayed and really listened and will take away an awful lot to feed back into Lookabout. It's very significant to me. I can just taste the space. It's very special. And like I say, it wasn't only because of the family connections, it's the whole thing. And I've not really been back to Gillingham since the early 80s, since my gran died, so it's very intimate and wrapped up in family.
Well, we used to go down to Gillingham Pier because the Strand, which is just along from Gillingham Pier, got very muddy and horrid. And when we went down with our swimming things and that, we used to go off the pier. The pier was always very busy because a lot of wood boats used to go up and down there. We also, but I can't remember, but we used to go down there. The boys used to go down there fishing off the pier because they got good responses there.
Geology is about time. It's about the study and the history of time and what happened and deducing it back. So it was only seemed right that over 2 years of looking at an intimate portrait of my interactions with the Cultural Olympiad was to represent it in some sort of alternate timeline. And the geological metaphor seemed very appropriate, being a trained field geologist. I like representing what I'm doing every day and the things I find out from the projects and the interactions with people I meet and what I observe, the way they're working. That's what, you know, the love of geology is all about, going out and finding out about the past, finding out and making stories. So I'm actually making the story and the geology from the same thing. For here on LV21, I'd like people to take away viewing the space in a very different way. Creating the labels as site-specific work for here was deliberate to make people do that. For Lookabout in general, I'd like people to take away the way they look at themselves over a day. Maybe they'll sit down and they'll map it and they'll see how many things they do, and maybe they'll turn it into something different, a piece of artwork, but they'll examine themselves by doing it. And maybe think differently about themselves by doing that too.